And in my previous video, we have seen how to install React.js, how to work with React.js, how to create your Hello app first program. And in this video, we're gonna see how to work with components. So essentially, components are the building blocks of React.js. Everything in React.js is in terms of components. So we have seen components in terms of our programming languages also. For example, we have seen function based components, basically a function, and we have seen class based components, basically in our oops programming languages. uh, like we have class and then methods inside that. So similar way, we have class based components and function based components in our React.js. So basically, there's one use of these components, that is reusability. So you can create your components and use it again and again wherever you want. All right, you can just plug in and play. So we'll see how to create components. So what I've done is I've now removed everything from this index.js, and I have created a JSX file called product.jsx. All right, I'm gonna remove this. Created a function called product. So this product name should start from the capital. Every component name should start from the capital, and I'm keeping the name same as my JSX file. Okay. So in this function, I'm gonna pass a parameter called products. Sorry, products, and we're gonna make use of this in a following way. All right. So we have a label. Okay. uh I'm sorry. So this function would return something, right? Every function would return something unless it's a void in terms of class, right? So so this would return something. Okay, and I want to say array of something, because I have multiple line items over here to be returned. So we have label, and I'm gonna say, sorry, product ID. So this product ID is what I'm gonna say, products dot ID. So I'm gonna create a property called ID. All right. So I'm gonna close this label. All right. So similar way, I'm gonna create multiple labels. Okay. Okay. So now I have a property called name, and then cost of the product. Okay. So that's it. I'm gonna separate this by comma. So every element in array is separated by comma, right? So this is my component. I've created a component over here, and I've said export default products. So we're gonna export this component. That means we have to make this available to the other resources to use this component. All right. So we're gonna go to index.js and we're gonna import this component. All right. So I have something called import products from. This is the path of the product component. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say have to utilize it. So I'm gonna say const um, products is equal to, I'm gonna say products ID is an attribute. I'm gonna say 1. And what else we have? We have name. I'm sorry, we don't have to include comma over here, right? This is an attribute. So I have name is equal to mobile. This is my product. And what else we have? We have cost equals to let's say 20,000. All right, let's say 2,000. Okay, so we're gonna close this product. And remember, we have render function, and render function has two parameters. One says, what to be rendered, and other says where to be rendered. So I have already written a parameter. This is where to render. Now what to render? So this product has to be rendered, right? So I'm gonna just say products and then separate it by comma, because these are two separate arguments, right? So I'm gonna save this and run my solution. So what is the command? So npm start. So let's wait for a few seconds till that view is being rendered on the browser. Now look at this. So our information has been displayed over here, the product information, right? So this is how the components work. You create a component over here. All right, you pass in this parameter. Now this is called props. I'm gonna talk more about this in the later stage of my video. But for now, remember this is parameter. And props, and we have properties called id, name, and cost. And in my index.js, I'm gonna import this you know component. This whole thing is a component, function based component. I'm gonna import this in my index.js. Look at this. So I'm gonna create a const, and I'm gonna return this variable here. And this is the information I need to display, and the same thing has been displayed over here. So now this is function based component. Now let's see how to create class based component. So you have seen function over here. We create function, and then every function returns something, right? So now to show you the demo of class based function, I've created one more JSX file over here. So let's see how to work with this. Okay, so what do you do in programming languages? We create class, and then inside the class we have function, right? So here same thing we're gonna do. We're gonna say class. I'll say customer. Remember, this is the component name, and it starts with capital, and it is same as my JSX file name, right? So this should extend component. Sorry. Extends. All right. So this class have a function, so you don't have to specify any specific function over here. I'm just gonna say render. All right, and inside this function we're gonna write something. So we're gonna again take label. All right, so here I'm gonna say props. So these are the properties, and I'm gonna say label. Then I'm gonna say customer ID. So here I'm gonna specify this dot props dot ID. All right, so I'm gonna close this label tag. So this is my first line item. So I'm gonna now replicate this. Okay, so this is my customer name property, and this is my customer city property. So this should be an array. Right? And every item of an array should be separated by comma. And what else I have must? I guess everything is fine. So this is my component. Okay, I'm gonna export this component. I'm gonna say export default, and then component name customer, so that this becomes usable. I can import this component wherever I want, and then uh, show it on the screen. All right, so now I'm gonna go to index.js. I'm gonna define one more constant, const say customers is equal to we have customer, then we have id equals 1, and what else we have customer name. I'm gonna say Tom, and we have customer city. So city, I'm gonna define it as Bangalore. So I'm gonna end my tag over here. All right, so now I'm gonna render this customer also. Say comma. So how do I use this component? I'm gonna import this. Look at this. I have imported customer from customer, right? So I'm gonna refresh this. I'm gonna save this and see if my detail of customer has been displayed on the screen or not. There is your render method should have return statement. Okay, so now if you can see, I have imported the customer component, and I've defined the properties values, the tag and the attributes over here, and the values of the attribute, and I'm gonna use this in my render section. I've created an array because I have two different things to be displayed over here. So if you can can see I have customer information as well as product information. So this is how you use your components. All right, so thanks guys. This is a small demo to represent or demonstrate the use of properties and components. Thank you.